Alright, welcome back to our very Disco Elysium-ish adventure game. RPG. RPG is more accurate, but we're going on an adventure. I was told to eat an apple or I'll die. Let's behold... Sorry. Catching up with the fact that our adventure game interactions are behold and trifle. And then I guess they're gonna have a word for speaking, but I can't tell what it is yet. Let's behold the apple. An apple. Looks better than the ones in the pile. Trifle with the apple. Garden apple. Whoa. Hello? No. How do I apple? Oh, consume. Garden apple. An apple grown on Tolstad. The colors ripple across the surface. Consuming it will save your soul. 1 hit point. A little dramatic, but okay. I'll take it. I'll take some HPs. This isn't yours, is it? Trifle with the weird... Rag. Tattered cloak. 1 dexterity, less charisma. The cloak is sprawled upon the iron slab. As you grab it, you immediately feel the dampness spreading into your gloves. Ew. It is light blue and tattered. And it was once yours. An Uthgard cloak add-on. It has been ripped to shreds at the base, but you could still use it. Please don't. That thing is disgusting. Weigh it in your hands. It is heavy. Bring out the water. The filthy liquid falls to the floor of the stony chamber. It smells of salt water. Beware. Someone must have mixed water and salt here. A foul alchemical concoction. It is still quite wet. Okay, so intelligence is going to be useless, but it's going to be very funny. Should I wear this? No? DC success. Correct answer. A rogue would wear it, that's for sure. So... But I'm not a rogue? Sorry, the word I am not a rogue is not in your vocabulary, actually. So that's a whole sentence. Please rephrase. That's not one word, though. So pedantic. You reach for your fancy red pouch of holding. The cloak easily slips inside into the extra-dimensional space with a satisfying... Gods, I can fit so many items in this thing. Yeah, you're very lucky. These are like 1,000,000 crowns on the market. Crowns. Crowns. The Norvican crown. The main coinage of Norvik. Of course, you don't truly own this pouch of holding. It is property of the state. Treat it as such. Equipping such items temporarily alters your ability scores. Right. That part of Disco Elysium is also here. It's neat to see a follow-up on the premise of that stuff because it has been 7 years. Apparently, another game from the studio that is nominally the creators of Disco Elysium put out a game this year too, which I don't know if I'll get to or not. I'm still torn on whether or not it's even good to play games by that studio or not after what they did to the people that made Disco Elysium, or at least wrote it and led the project for it. I know that almost every video game company, especially in AAA, but which Disco Elysium is specifically not, sucks, and it's bad to work in this industry, and bad things happen to everyone who works in it all the time, basically. And so, like, you're kind of accidentally endorsing bad behavior every time you play almost anything in this thing. But it's hard to know. It definitely hurts more when the very personal story that came from a leftist writers that like quoted Karl Marx at the Game Awards and so on, then get ousted by gross capitalistic garbage, and then the people puppeteer that company to make something. Like, the game they made might be cool still, and a bunch of people work on every video game. So like, there's probably dozens of people that worked on the game that are pretty cool, but it still is like tainted by what happened at the company and its leadership and so on, and that sucks. So I have not made up my mind about what to do about the fact that there's a new game that's kind of a spiritual successor to Disco Elysium. Apparently, they're also fragmented to being a bunch of different, the original leadership and creative teams behind the first game have splintered to a bunch of different companies, and they're kind of, a bunch of them are kind of making different successors to Disco Elysium in their own ways. So there might be a whole crop of cool games coming out in the next decade, eventually, if any of those get finished, ever. And those ones will be easier to justify playing. It's a corpse under a blanket. Can I talk to the corpse? I feel like I should talk to the body before I touch it. You stare at a blue rag. It's draped over the outline of someone. How is this guy sleeping down here? Sir, you can't sleep down here. Sir, you can't sleep down here. No response. Give it up. Nothing to gain here. He's too still to be alive. Sir, please don't ignore me. Silent treatment, huh? No breathing. No movements. Nothing. Oh. Oh, he's dead. No shit. Recently deceased. Actually check under the rag. Hey, experience. Underneath, you find the cold corpse of a human. Human, tall and beautiful, like yourself, known as the pest of the coast by those who are less inclined to reproduce like rabbits. Thinning blonde hair, unkempt facial hair. Yeah, this guy looks fresh. Like he could just sit up and talk to you. Hint, hint, hint. Because I think there might be like a... Wasn't the first loading screen we got the speak to the dead spell? The DC difficulty class of a dice choice is determined by how challenging that roll will be for you. If you select a dice choice, you then can roll a 20-sided die. If you get the same or higher as the DC, you succeed on that roll. Examine him closer. I have to roll a d10. I have to roll a DC of 10, which is like a 50-50 chance of succeeding, but I have a -2 to my modifier because of how bad I am. I'm good with corpses, right? Let's look closer. It's even worse. That wasn't the modified roll, it became a 4. There's nothing strange here. You must look closer. Lean in and look closer. Harsh scars cover the skin. Signs of being either a hard worker or a careless worker litter his skin. Make sure to check the back as well. Try to move the corpse. The moment you touch it, black veins appear over its skin. A feeling of impending doom. A feeling of impending doom comes over you. Your stomach drops, followed by a wave of pain. Ah. Ah. Oh my god, I'm dying. Okay, Jesus. Whoa. Touching the body did 7 damage to me. This is a Disco Elysium fall. The first thing you can interact with in the environment can kill you, like the fucking ceiling fan. Okay, so Apple's effect has been undone. Instead of being up to 5 health, I lost 7 health, so I went below -2 basically, and we did the death saving throws that happen in D&D, where you have to, I think you roll against your constitution, or maybe just roll in general, but it's I think it's practically a coin flip as far as your chances go, and if you succeed 3 times, you revive barely. And if you fail 3 times, you fucking die. So, we have slightly more defense against dying in this system than we did against the ceiling fan last time. Necrotic energies. Let go of the damn corpse! Drop it. The moment you let go, the pain subsides. If I ever do a second playthrough with probably with high intelligence, then that character is going to be like really like snooty sounding, but here he sounds like a surfer bro. The dark marks on its skin disappear as quickly as they showed up. What a horrific spell. This corpse is cursed by something wicked beyond your powers. They should at least have a sign up. Like, don't touch the dead, they're full of black magic. You slowly cover up the corpse once more. Let's, not speak of this. You need to look deeper into this. It's okay to loot him, right? I think that's how you die again. What the hell kind of magic is cast on this thing? Something horrific. Truly evil. Whatever it is, do not touch it again. It's okay to loot him, right? Yeah. As long as he doesn't wake up or anything. If you can suffer the loss of moral integrity. Not like the guy will complain, but don't go around talking about it too loud, okay? It would be dishonorable. Only take that which you need for your quest. Who was this guy? His hands are calloused. He is built like a sarcophagus. Just a man. A dead man. An honorable dead man. Why is he here? This is a morgue? A lich house? Clearly. Corpses are kept on cooling in places like this before cremation or burials. On cooling. Is the rock meant to sap the, that's interesting. Is the rock specifically meant to sap body heat out of the body to cool it first? I should stop bothering the corpse now. Is there like a highlight things button? Kind of looks like it's already highlighted, actually. I'm just like, is there like a... I wonder. Settings. I don't see a controls menu. Was just curious to see if there's like a highlight interactables button. Because yeah, this is interactable. This urn. Behold, a vase of leaves. Smells lovely. Let's trifle with the leaves. Whoa, incense. They just became outcense. Okay, so if I touch that corpse again, I'd probably die. In fact, we even acknowledged the idea of like, is it safe to loot this body? And my dexterity was like, yeah? Failure. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna die if I touch it, aren't I? The air is cool in here. An esoteric effect. Is that what it said? Esoteric effect? Oh, that guy's still here that we saw in the intro scene. A very important piece of paper. How important? Voting card. -1 intelligence. Wait, why? A scuffed voting card made out to Ragan Hemlin. It's from a dwarven office for some reason, and someone has checked in all 5 parties on the list. You need to bring this to a polling place on election day if your voice is to be heard. -1 intelligence if I, like, wear it, I guess? So the parties are Nationalist, Party of Novrek, Free Strider, Revolutionary Party, Asgalist, Workers' Party, Agarian, Rural Party, Arcanist, Party of Magic, and then a 6th slot, I guess, so that if we're hyper intelligent, we can nominate ourselves, essentially, like a dick. Incense. Easily burned spices and herbs can be used to recover 1st level spell slots. Oh, by chomping on them. It's a little upsetting. Tattered cloak. The ends are torn. It's a stretch to even call it a cloak. Please don't put it on. Just please don't put it on. The game begs me out loud. The staircase is presumably the exit, but there's a few things going on here. There's like a shrine. A divine shrine covered in apples. Can I talk to the shrine? The shrine of Urth. The runes fill your senses as you approach. The color is faded. This monument is hollow, void of all life and divinity. And worse, it's covered in rotten apples. These old things are still around, huh? A rock? Yeah, they tend to be. Are these rare? No, you will find shrines like this all over Norvik. Can I pray here? To what exactly? To Urth, of course. There are many gods listening to our prayers, always. Just remember that they might not respond so clearly. So I can pray to some random god? You may pray as you wish. There's an internal element to it that is underappreciated. Thanks, Wisdom. Thanks for that insight. God damn it. Literally got me. A sacred shrine left in this state. It's an insult to Urth and all of his people. Indeed. You are very much aware that this is not the worst you'll see. You'll have to fight hard to keep Urth's dream afloat. This city is lost, but it is not yet lost. This is giving me a headache. Politics is exhausting. I like the idea of just having us be just a shamble of random disparate parts that don't agree with each other and are just like it's like being a bunch of raccoons wearing a trench coat pretending to be a man. Which is how I often feel, and I think how a lot of people feel. So it's relatable just to have your character be a mess of dumb contradictions as an acknowledgement that that's how a lot of people actually just are, as opposed to the confidence that people frequently project or even just accidentally imply by just not constantly voicing all of their doubts. Remove the apples? It does not take long for you to move some of the nasty apples away from the front of the shrine. A small improvement, but big in the heart. Kneel. The shrine towers over you. You feel small. To cast spells, you must first prepare them at shrines. Prepared spells can be cast when the cleric has a reason to do so, either in or out of dialogues. Each cast expels one spell slot of the corresponding spell. What guards are there? What other gods are there? Many. You know a few. Urth, father of Norvik? Urth is dead. Dead gods do not speak. Dead, yes, but he speaks through you. You've devoted your life to follow in his footsteps. Asgol Ashmask? Asgol Ashmask was a dwarven god of exiles and egalitarianism. A dwarf of a low caste, born deep in the Lekim, Merzek tunnels. When he attained divinity in 443 AE, he crushed the kingdoms and formed the Asgol Folkhelm Forge. On his death in 470 AE, a great civil war broke out, resulting in the exiling of all his followers to the surface. But his influence was felt all around the Undercoast and above. as his exiled dwarves spread Asgalism to all corners of Jor. Undercoast, a nickname for the undersea coast. Undersea coast, the gravity reversed cavern, sea, and archipelago, right underneath the coast. Dig down far enough, and you'll end up passing through the gravity flip, and then you can make the climb to the undercoast. Whoa. The undercoast. So the dwarves live in a gravity flipped version of our area underneath the surface. His followers do not pray to him, for he is not seen as a god by most. A weakling who sacrificed his people for an unattainable, foolish dream. Though there are parts of his tale you cannot deny are quite romantic. A lone man rising against impossible odds. No wonder his followers still rampage across Ashkani. Tokish the Gambler? A trickster, the type of god only famous for his ridiculous ploys. Tokish the Gambler is often seen as a silly goblin myth. A trickster goblin who united the tribes of Ashkani during the Divine Era, is most famous for cutting off his right hand to fulfill a prophecy. Askan is one of 8 bands along the coast. Yeah. To regulate my breathing when I read this much, or I'll just start yawning. It is a cold, mountainous realm. It is your home, also referred to as Ashkani. With the added eyes, yeah. In truth, there are few goblins who still worship him after the conquest. Praying to Toki, or Tokish, I don't know. I definitely dealt with languages where the G is an SH sound. Praying to Tokig, if you for some reason get a response, only result in the exact opposite of whatever you wanted. Bulba, the last titan. First of many, a beast of yore. A beast of yore, term for those who, creatures invited by Jor during the Gate Era. Essentially a term for all the extremely old and ancient creatures across the coast. Yore, the name of our realm. Also the name of the legendary wizard who created it. He died during the closing, at the end of the Gate Era. The first out of 5 eras, when Yor created this realm, and the gods fought to bring order. That was the Gate War. Bulba was that of the hunt. The last of the Titans fought against dragons in Virginie, died in a high-she swamp. His corpse spawned many monstrosities across the coast. Behemoths who raged across the coast. In his name, we celebrate the eternal hunt. Huh. Wait, can I heal here through divine assurance or something? Not precisely. The gods do not usually grant divine interventions for minor injuries. Divine, one of the 3 pillars of magic, it is represented by the sacred, the faith of all folk, their souls, and is granted by gods who once walked among us. Sus. Of course you can heal here, but only if you pray hard enough. Attempt a prayer of healing? Ooh. I'm currently exhausted, so it's harder. But it's made easier because I removed the apples. Yay! And also I have a high modifier. But that's a challenge. We'll see. Oh! The modifier was so big that I made it. Barely, damn. You focus your mind on Urth's symbol, his red eye, and you remember the words. Watch upon me, Urth, shepherd of his folk. You're filled with the spirit of nostalgia and power. Let me pick up the burden. Lend me your strength. Ooh. Wow. I have full health. I have 1 exhaustion, I guess, which is why I have 9 health now instead of 10 as my cap, because this top one's removed entirely. But otherwise, I'm healed. You feel reinvigorated. This is it. This is prayer of healing. Yes, indeed. Sadly, you are unable to cast second-level spells at this time, but it won't be long until you will be. Little prickle of experience again. It's just sort of trickling in over time. Okay. Prepare spells. What do I got? Preparing spells. To the right, you may view a list of all of your available spells. In order to cast spells, you need to first prepare them by approaching shrines, which are scattered around the city. For each spell you wish to prepare, fill in its empty slot on the right. You may only... Stop it! You may only prepare a spell if you have a spell slot of the corresponding level available. Spell slots to the bottom left. You may view your current spell slots. That's what the bottom left thing is. Okay, I was calling them anal beads. Each of the current spells. Each circle represents 1 slot, which you may expend to cast a spell. You may only cast spells when there is a use for them. When a spell is castable during specific situations in dialogue, the spell tile button of that particular spell will be lit up. Spell tile buttons can be found next to your spell slots once you have finished preparing your spells. Interesting. So keep an eye out for exactly when it actually shows up. Prayer of Healing. Second level evocation spell takes 10 minutes. Range of 30 feet. Up to 6 creatures of your choice that you can see within a range each regain hit points equal to 2d8 of your spellcasting ability modifier. This spell has no effect on undead constructs. So I got like an AoE healing spell, but I genuinely can't even cast it yet because I'm a stupid baby. But I now cure wounds now, so that's nice, I guess. Spell difficulty is DC 15. The DC is 8 plus your wisdom or intelligence modifier, whichever is highest, plus your proficiency bonus. This is the DC a target has to achieve when rolling a save against one of your spells. Oh, it's the resistance, right. I was like, why would my wisdom make it harder to cast spells? Was what I thought at first. I got mixed up a little bit. 0 cantrips, 2 spells. Has prepared spells 0, I assume, because I haven't, activated it yet. So now Cure Wounds is actually prepared. There it is, yeah. Can I talk to it? Or just engage in general, yeah. Pray. Staring at the chiseled monument, you focus your mind. You take a deep breath and begin your prayer. And tranquility. Can I return here when I have more things to think about? Always. You are the only one who is always there. No one ever answers your prayers. Damn. Contemplate the tea shop? You let your mind go through the basics of what you know. The tea shop was destroyed in the middle of the day. Minor injuries were reported. Your goal is to enter the tea shop and investigate it properly. That is it. Seems low stakes for a thing I already died during, apparently. Contemplate the election. Your first election. Your vote won't matter. Your vote will be the most important of all. Ask those around you what they will vote for, and you might find your own voice along the way. Contemplate your class. Identity is not easy. It's everything, from faction to home life to street. What you choose might be a first step. Choose wisely. Shrine of Urth. So do you. The response to the original thing? And tranquility? So do you. Take a little getting used to. What's going on with this little scroll here? Divine scripture, where it does not belong. You can't meddle with the shrine. You can only behold it or engage it. Shield of Faith. Huh? Learned a new spell. First level Abjuration. A shimmering field appears and surrounds you, protecting you from damage. For the duration, any loss of hit points is reduced by 1. Not a ton, but it works for a bit unless you lose concentration, which would be really embarrassing if that happened constantly. Although, isn't wisdom usually good for not losing concentration in games like this? I might have the helpful stat for that. I'm gonna go ahead and prepare it, because it's my only other option, and I can prepare 2 spells right now. So why not? Pile of apples. What if I talk to the apples? You stare at a pile of apples. Apples are good for you. Whose apples are these? Not yours. Maybe they're grown somewhere around here. Or below. From the ground. Or from trees. Like potatoes. Or tomatoes. You are now hungry. Should these be stored alongside corpses? Of course not. It's nasty. It is just apples. They won't damage the corpses. Something tells you that no, they should not. Could I eat my way through this pile of apples? You can certainly try. You have a feeling it might be worth your while, but only if you push to the end. Like that meme with the miner where he turns back right before the diamonds. You are not capable of carrying such a tremendous burden. It would be greatly beneficial. Roll a d20 with your modifiers to get a unique outcome. That's a lot of apple. Yes. Remove the bad apples first. Your hands swipe over the surface of apples, carefully plucking away any signs of spoilage. Did I make it easy? A lot of bad apples are removed, so it's easier. It's not a very hard challenge, and I have a modifier to make it easier. Can I do it? Not if that happens. Fuck me. You look upon this challenge with fear in your stomach. This will be your end. Dig in? Yay, hit points. Digging in, the first apple goes down the hatch. Going smooth so far. Maybe this will be easy. Another one. Number 2 goes well, at first. Then you feel something rumbling. Oh no. Eat a third? A rotten core. And something hard. Yes, that was a mistake. Your challenge of the pile will surely be rewarded. Keep going. My health. Your stomach fights against your hands as you bite down on the apple. You can take it. Do not stop. This is so manly. Tears form in your eyes. One more should be fine. I will surely be rewarded for this. Press on one last time. Oh, more damage than ever before. This is the limit. As you chow down on one final apple, you feel your jaw ache, your hands shake. Apple overdose. Dangerous stuff. You've heard of that? Scary. You glance at the pile, realizing that you've just scratched the surface of this rotten apple heaven. Rotten apple juice dripping down the inside of your helmet. Wait, how are you eating these? Are you just shoving them in from below? A fine way to dine. Your thoughts are interrupted by the sound of something light and hard hitting the ground. A small, sharp rock. This must have fallen into the pile of apples at some point. It is a highly esoteric object. The magic of yore and his strings, the coast is infused with it. We got a shard of yore. As you weigh it in your hand, a tingle shoots up your arm. Esoteric. A shard. It is connected with a string. These rare shards of yore can be consumed to unlock failed ability checks. Oh, like rerolls? Normally checks are only unlocked upon the completion of a short or long rest. Oh, it is like Disco Elysium. You can do an ability check on various things around the environment, and if you fail, but it's like a persistent thing. You could reasonably retry over and over again based on the context. They only let you try once after you rest, so you don't just sit there and spam it over and over again. This lets you try it again sooner, which might be required to make progress at just sort of unpacking the tangled mess around you. So this objective did get easier. You ate most of them on. You ate some extra, and you ate most of them honestly. So I got -4 DC from those things. Advantage. I've eaten some already. Can I scroll down to see the rest? Oops. A lot of bad apples removed. So I've reduced the DC by 9 at this point, and I have advantage, which means that if that's like D&D, that means I'll roll twice and get the best result between the two. So I'm basically guaranteed to succeed now, except for the part where I can't do it right now until I do a rest, which it does feel wasteful to use the shard here. But they did give me that purpose for. They did give it to me now to try it out. So maybe I'll do that. Spend 1 shard to unlock. Okay, so the shards unlock 1 retry. I thought I might retry all of them or something. Alright, well, it's clearly like a tutorial for like the idea, so why not? I was gonna say, surely I can't fail in any way now because of how much easier it got. So we're looking into a lot about how you trying something can make it easier in the future, and how there's ways to retry and retry sooner. So a bunch of systems are built into that. You look upon this challenge with determination. Your stomach is empty. How? Digging in, the first apple goes down the hatch. Going smooth so far. Another one. Number 2 goes well. You chew it in peace. Now the third. Yep. That sure was an apple. And I'm healing too. I'm recovering from my mess. Next one. This one was harder. Your stomach fights the taste. It is getting difficult. 1 more should be fine. This is the limit. As you chow down on the apple, you feel your jaw ache, your hands shake. Apple overdose. Dangerous stuff. You've heard of that. Scary. You feel refreshed. For a moment at least. The pile of apples towers over you still. You've barely made a dent. Yes. Eat the apple, apple boy. Feel sick as a verb. Eat the apple, apple boy. As you feel sick, you see something sticking out of the pile of apples. Piece of paper? No. It's a spell scroll. Ah, the scroll is just for a simple cantrip. Oh well. You quickly memorize the scroll, consuming it into your psyche as you always do. Some people at the towers used to fear your innate power to master magic like that. Towers, the home base of the Order of Arcane Clerics of Norvik, also known as the OACN. Clerics, a servant of God, deeply devoted and spiritually connected, typically a divine spellcaster given power through their deity, which is understandable. It's pretty terrifying. The part where I memorize it intuitively, it's like glance at something and immediately know the spell. Having that innate power is interesting while also being somebody that is a huge dumbass, apparently. Cantrips are spells that can be cast at will outside of dialogue. They do not consume any spell slots. You can access your cantrips in the bottom right. Very cool. Check out the cantrip. Here it is, Dancing Light. You create a torch-sized light within range, making it appear as a torch, lantern, or glowing orb that hovers in the air for that duration. Whichever form you choose, the light sheds dim light in 10-foot radius. Whoa. I can just toggle on a little light next to me. That's neat. It's interesting to be able to do it whenever I feel like it. Short rest. Spend 1 hour to recover. Gain 1d8 HP. Remove 1 level of exhaustion. Restore 1 spell point. After resting, all dice checks are unlocked. But it fast forwards through time, and we have a 5-day time limit. So that's the cost. That's the risk we need to worry about. Alright, so there's stakes. A great mountain of apples. Calm down, Strength. We'll get through this together. I believe in us. Alright, well, that's another episode worth of us dealing with the Shrine of the Apples. Really, maybe next episode, I'll leave the room. No promises.